your perfect formula. Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything to prove that you are a bully and a troll, and you do not deserve to be at this table or anywhere near any of us for the way you've treated us.
And that message is for her. If you know her, make sure this message gets to her and remind her we do in fact have the receipts, the proof, the timeline, the screenshot to prove that she's full of. Let's get into it.
F around and find out. F around and find out.
Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of F Around and Find Out. I'm your host, Elsie. I appreciate you for being here. You guys, the dump we received on the docket is unlike any other. It was back to back to back to back to back to back exhibits, text messages, literally receipts, proof, timeline, and released by who? There's a lot of confusion about this, especially on Instagram and TikTok, because there are a lot of people who are like, well, if Blake's team released this, then it must be good for them, right? And why would Blake's team release this? Is this Justin Baldoni's team that released this? So I want to clear something up really quickly. These are text messages that are for the Baldoni side, right? The Wayfarer team's text messages. Justin, Jamie, Janable, Melissa Nathan, Jed Wallace, Katie Case, like everybody. Steve Sorowitz, it's everybody. People like we don't even speak of. Sack, Adam Monshine, it's everywhere, okay? So Blake's team asked for this to be released. And people are confused why they would release Justin's text messages because they had it on their end from discovery. And after going through the text messages, these are the messages their team feels like, oh, this says something. Oh, this might sway the public. And to that I say, oh my God, poor you. These messages did not move me 1 inch. In fact, they pissed me off even more knowing the Wayfarer parties were literally like capitulating and like doing everything to please you, going out of their way to please you. The man needed prayers, guys. He needed a prayer group to deal with you. You are not the victim here. As you can see, this letter here says, Dear Judge Lyman, pursuant to the court's August 12, 2025 order, we hereby submit redacted copies of the exhibits to Ms. Lively's motion to compel that the court has ordered to be unsealed. So they didn't like leak this. I think that's the confusion people are finding. It wasn't like a leak. They didn't just go drop it on some website. It was dropped on the docket. So we're not going to look through all the text messages, all the emails, because we don't have time for it. We're going to look through a couple of them. But there are a couple of points I want to clear up. Every week, it feels like there are new people coming in here, you know, who don't know what's going on with the case, who make assumptions about the case. And then I feel like I have to go back to like the basics and catch them up, or like go to a lesson we learned like week 2, week 3 to catch them up in like week 50, honestly. And it's a little exhausting, but it's the job, right? It's the job. I can't complain. But this one specifically is going over a lot of people's heads. I want to make sure I nip this one in the bud before we lose ground, because no, let's not do that. The first thing I want to make sure I clear up is the sexy comment, because a lot of new people are finding that very confusing because they're like, oh my God, he called her sexy. Like, that's guilty right there. There is this misconception that why, if the Wayfarer parties claim they released all the text messages and they gave us all the receipts, why are we now learning about these text messages? We're going to turn our attentions to our Bible and to the left corner of the page where it says timeline of relevant events. And for the slow ones in the class, relevant events to the what? Say with me, amended complaint. The complaint itself. It's relevant because they literally combated point by point, line by line, everything she brought up in the what? Say with me, amended and the original complaint. What we got on the website was a timeline of relevant events, as in date for date, line by line, what she brought up in her complaints. They combated that. ¿Me entiendes? Are we clear? Can we move on? Okay, thank you. Now, why I'm really on this website is to clarify the sexy comments, because a lot of people are confused and think Justin was the one that introduced the word sexy into this conversation, into this relationship. Sexy was introduced into this relationship, conversation, whatever, by Blake Lively. The word sexy appears 9 times, right? We're going to start on page 26 of 168, where on May 17th, Lively continued to share her open and unguarded thoughts on life and her character. She talked about wardrobe choices to make her character much sexier. Class, everybody in the class, if you have your highlighter with you, this is where we're going to highlight much sexier. Who wrote that? Blake Lively. Yeah. She introduced the word sexy May 17th, 2023 into the conversation. And she was talking about who? The character. Lively continued to share her open and unguarded thoughts on life and her character. She talked about wardrobe choices to make her character, again, much sexier. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. She sends Baldoni the following text, notably using sexy both in person and over text to describe her character. Lively took no issue using the word sexy herself and set the precedent for use of the word being acceptable as it is in customary colloquial exchanges. So, what did Blake text Justin exactly? We'll show you both ways, but beanie is much sexier. It's the look. Feels TV without, especially with a crop top in the snow. A beanie and a crop top in the snow? That looks stage play, but okay. It justifies the rest of the skin. No, the heck it does not. Also, as a girl, I would check out walking down the street because it washes the effort of the rest of the look. Who texts that? Those of us paying attention and taking notes, that text message was sent from Blake Lively to Justin Baldoni in May of 2023. The next time we see the word sexy is on May 23rd, 2023, 6 days after Blake Lively introduced the word sexy into this conversation. In Lively's complaint, she alleges that Baldoni used the word sexy in a tone that made her feel ogled and exposed. Those of us taking notes, ogled and exposed. Ogled is when somebody kind of just looks at you like ogles you, right? However, Baldoni asked the director, those of us still paying attention and taking notes, Baldoni was what? The director, the star, the producer. He owned the movie. Noted that the look would be sexy, referencing the wardrobe for the scene and not Lively personally. Lively had previously mentioned verbally and in text that she wanted her wardrobe to be what? Those of you taking notes, remind me? Sexy. His statements were immediately followed by a gesture indicating that Lively had something in her teeth and a request for someone on set to get her a toothpick. This exchange, all of which was captured on camera, was bookended by Baldoni's immediate recognition that Lively appeared offended. Baldoni offered multiple apologies to Lively moments later, despite the fact that he was merely doing his job. Now I'm wondering, was Blake even offended by the word, or was she like, how are you going to say sexy and then tell me there's something in my teeth right after? Like, that's not sexy. That's not giving. Because why are you mad? The man told you, take your jacket off. You're going to look sexy as in the character. You introduced the word sexy. You said you wanted to look sexy. You, because you don't know the difference between you and Lily. Is that where the issue lies? Oh my God, did I just unlock? Is the issue really here that Blake was offended by the word sexy, or the issue really here is Blake does not know that there is Blake and there's Lily and there's Justin, who is the director, then there's Ryle, who's the actor. Holy shit. Did I just unlock it? Like, what if she doesn't even give a shit about the fact that she doesn't know there's Lily and there's her? So Justin could have possibly have been talking about Lily being sexy, the character being sexy, the wardrobe being sexy. Justin has to be talking about her. And then how dare you follow up like I'm a sexy comment with there's something in my teeth and then she gave me a toothpick? How dare you embarrass me like that? I'm gonna sue you. Do you see where I'm going? That weekend, somehow Blake catches COVID, right? Justin texts her how sorry he is, how bad he feels. And then on May 29th, Blake has gone to Sony with complaints about Baldoni's sexy comment. To which he apologized on the spot, by the way. I was like, I could sense you feel away. I wasn't even trying to be like that. You said the character needed to be sexy. I was just following suit. On June 1st, they have the meeting where upon return into production, Lively requested a meeting with Baldoni and the producers where she brings up the sexy comment again. I'm sorry. One sexy comment is spanning over 3-week conversation? How? That could possibly, unless you set him up, unless you were trying to get a way to get him in trouble. So you're like, yeah, he's attentive. If I call the character sexy, he'll follow suit. Because right now, the only issue I'm finding here is you found somebody to talk to who listens to you, pays attention enough to know your lingo and use it back at you. because there are actually other instances where Blake loved the word sparkly. We talked about that. Justin uses the word sparkly back at her multiple times. Are we suing over sparkly? Because those were also part of your language pieces that you threw in there. So all this proves is he's somebody who listened to you talk so much that he started adapting your language. There's a lawsuit for the sparkly comment. Is it coming soon? This is just ridiculous. So that's just for the sexy aspect of this all. Everybody who is confusing the sexy thing, he did not initiate it. He did not start it. One of the group messages that made the docket were the messages between the crisis PR people, Brianna, Coslow, Kate Case, and everybody in there. And people who have issue with whatever conversation, which again, the conversations that we're having were purely about how things were happening organically, and they really didn't have anything to do with it. But yet people were like, why are the PR people talking about? The PR people for the other team have no obligation to speak nicely about the other team. Can we just get that out of the way and stop pretending like the PR team have some type of obligation to be nice to Blake, or Blake's PR team has some type of obligation to be nice to Justin? Nobody has to be nice to anybody. They're the PR people. If my PR person is not ruthless, I don't want you. Does that make sense? Like, the crisis manager is not meant to be like stroking Blake's ego, which they even kind of were at some point. But like, people have an issue with them, like, get over yourself. Be real. Be very, very for real. The PR people, again, have no obligation to be nice to Blake Lively. Let's get that out of the way. They started talking about how people are picking up on the floral. This is black and white right here, but you can see that's the wear your florals and everybody going on about it. And then they started talking about how people are realizing, people have gone to see the movie and are realizing this is a DV movie that was promoted as a summer blockbuster rom-com. And the thing that was happening was organic, and they didn't even have to do anything. The content were just coming out. At some point, they even talk about how, like, if these were just comments, like, we would be worried and be like, it's bots or whatever. But people are sitting in front of their cameras, turning their camera on and making content about this. You cannot fake that. You know what I'm saying? So when Jen Abel's like, Blake and Ryan want Justin to put out a statement. This is August 12, 2024. It's kind of crazy that a year ago this was happening in real life, and we were all just kind of behind the scenes, like, what's going on? And then Melissa Nathan responds and says, career killer for them, and Wafer, no, have to fight it. That's not a smear campaign. You asking me to put out a statement kissing your ass, and my PR team literally diligently working to be like, you can't do that. It's not a smear campaign. At what point do you fight? It's now. Lawyer up now. Jen Abel says, this is crazy. Honestly, I've never had anything like this happen. Can he please hire a lawyer? At this point, Melissa Nathan is like, it's above me. Crisis PR can't handle this. You need a lawyer. He has one, but he needs a litigator. This is when they get into Brian Friedman, right? Melissa Nathan says, get BF, he's waiting, and will also take on WME. Like, at this point, Brian Friedman is ready to go. He's ready to fight, right? Melissa Nathan really harped on the fact that they needed Brian Friedman. He says, I do not want you putting out a statement. Absolutely no way. You need to hire a lawyer and you need to fight it. He says, we just got them to agree not to do the letter. So it looks like Justin and Jamie were like, at this point, we would just do the letter and get it over with. Thank God somebody stepped in front of that and shut it down, because, oh my God, it would have killed their own careers and killed Wayfair along with it as a studio. And the fact that Ryan completely forgot he did that mess during the strike, taking a woman's writing credit from her, a script that was perfectly fine, was already greenlit, and you did your rewrite, whatever you want to call it, during the strike. Do you see how this is messy? Now, I want to say one of the most funniest and understated comments of all of these text messages was when Katie Case says, God, are people even that interested in this? Katie, if you only knew. She said that August 13th, 2024. I wonder what she thinks now, August 15th, 2025. God, are people even that interested in this? I guess we have our answer. There's this email between Justin Baldoni and Steve Surowitz where it says, we should always find the positive. Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, and there's always time. Abdul Baha says that. Exactly. Abdul Baha says, if we find 999 negative things about a person, we should focus on the one positive thing. Now, Abdul Baha, shout out to you. You know, it's hard with this one. It's very, very difficult with this one lady here. She makes it very, 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 very hard to overlook the 999 negative things to find the one positive. Because what is the positive that I'm going to look at? As a matter of fact, Abdul, I can't find it. I can't find it. I can't find it, sir. So if you want to give me a hand down here, that would be great. So this is around where I start to get very angry and very pissed off with Justin, and these messages don't mean anything Blake is trying to make it mean. I believe in people being prayerful. I believe in people being spiritual, religious, whatever. A person needing regular prayers to get through the day, you know, God covering them, God covering their spirit, protecting their spirit is different. A person feeling so broken, so tired, stripped of their dignity, as to start a prayer and support group, a group that when he's about to meet you, talk to you, have a meeting, whatever, he needs prayers and support to get through the day. That person is a person that's sick and tired and drained. Happy New Year, flying back to New Jersey Friday, day 1 of 17. I haven't seen Blake in person since the safety letter accusation. And right there, a lot of people were like, aha. So he admits there was an accusation, blah, blah, blah. Well, we all know that he knows, he acknowledges that she went and brought up the safety thing. When has that ever not been facts? So I don't know why everybody was like, that's some type of bombshell. We all know that. We've already discussed that. Feeling all sorts of things. Trying to find my balance of captaining a ship and leading it while it's being held hostage. How to give her most of what she wants while maintaining some of my own vision. And starting Friday, acting and working with this person who can and will use anything she can against me. It's all scary, yet I know I have protection. Starting this thread again, as I would need the emotional/spiritual support. Love you all. Can you imagine? Just what job do you go to? Just anybody in the comments, please feel free to respond. What job do you have? What job do you go to where you feel like before you show up to work or go to a meeting, you need prayer and support? And those instances can exist, by the way. But for this man to feel so broken down and tired, to feel so stripped of all damn dignity and humanity that he needs, to say this was heartbreaking and sad to read is an understatement. He did receive a bunch of messages from his people. I don't have time to read through all of this because this video would be 2 hours long. So right around here, Justin Baldoni is now noticing there are people trolling Blake on his Instagram post and probably talking badly about her. And he sends it to Billis and Nathan, and it's like, this is an example of somebody trolling Blake. That doesn't seem like a real account. Like, they're not saying, this is somebody trolling Blake, yay! They're like, why is this person trolling Blake? And it seems like it's a bot. That's a natural conversation to have. Justin asking for a fit check is so funny. He's like, hey, I have this outfit. What do I wear? Do I add a t-shirt, jeans, super casual? This is so funny. It's so human. That's, by the way, it's not important to cover right here. Right here is a correspondence between Justin and Jamie in May of 2023. I know that it's jumping up and down. It's not in order, and there's no way I could have actually put these in order without losing my mind. I'm just by the pool listening to stuff and trying to release. If you want to come here today, probably like trying to calm down. Hey, brother, I'm up in Philly. Be back mañana. Conversation is going really well, and Alex Sack, one of the producers, is in a good place. I'm going to set it up for you to talk, but you shouldn't share all that I've shared about what she says about you other than what I say now. Let's keep it up. FaceTime me. Kalof called me. What does he know? Nothing. He knows we got shut down for COVID. Haven't talked to him since then. So nothing about Blake or drama. No, of course not. He knows that she wasn't happy about getting COVID. I mean, he's fine to know that stuff. He's our guy. I told Steve more today. I talked to Steve last night also. I didn't share about the comments the ladies had feelings about. Didn't want to share anything you hadn't yet. He said he should come to set and remind Blake whose money this is. And I said that's not the best idea. Yeah, he said that to me. He said that to me too, regarding how difficult she is to work with. He doesn't quite get the nuance. There is the biggest fault I found in these text messages. Justin and Jamie stopping Steve Sarowitz from coming onto set and telling Blake, hey, this is my money. This is my company that I fund. I'm the money guy. And how about do your damn job or get off the set? And that could have saved them so much headache. Can you imagine where we are right now in the world? Just take a gander. In your wildest dreams, where are we right now? Where are we right now in the world if 2 years ago Steve Surwitz was able to walk on set and tell Blake Lively, shut up, sit down, read your lines, do your job, and get off the set. This is my money. And if you don't like it, you could quit. If somebody had reminded Blake, oh, there's another money guy here. He's actually a billionaire. He has more money than her. He has more money than her. Oh, maybe she respects him. Maybe she knows her place. But we never got to that stage. And this is not like shut her up if she has legitimate concerns. I'm talking about Blake took over everything because she thought she was boss. And nobody ever reminded her otherwise. And this is the reason why the conversation pro-Blake people try to have of the power dynamics of Justin being the power person on the set will always fail. The power person on the set doesn't ask for prayers before he comes to work. The power person on the set doesn't step in and stop the billionaire from coming to set and be like, please don't do this. It's going to make things worse. Because Justin could have actually been the one inciting Steve Surwitz to be like, actually, Steve, come on set. Yeah, actually, I think it would be best if you came on set and reminded Blake whose money this is. That would be crazy. You see how it's not that way and it's the other way around? Okay. This text message between Jamie Heath and Andy Grammer. Now, I really want to know what song this is he was supposed to sing, because they talk about how Andy was supposed to sing. Andy's going to sing at the after party for the Wayfair rap party, at the Wayfair party, after party, I believe. And I don't know if that's for the premiere or because this is early in August and the premiere was until the 23rd. So I don't know what conversation this is about specifically. But Andy says, do you want me to sing the song that was supposed to be in the movie? And now I'm like, what song was supposed to be in the movie that we didn't get to see because this girl shut it down? Like, I want to know a song, you know? I don't think it's I'm Not Giving Up because I mean, there's a way it could fit in a movie, but I don't know exactly where. So I don't know, I'm guessing because we know he sung that at that after party they had. But somehow Blake and her team are trying to claim this text message between Jamie Heath and Andy as part of something. I don't know how this means anything. This message could have never been in here. It was so irrelevant. Like I already said earlier, like, I mean, it goes on, and some of them are really irrelevant. And I'm trying to understand why Blake and her team thought they would release this. And I'm sure the reaction they were looking for were people thinking these messages proved anything. Because if you ask me, and I'm being for real, they don't prove SH. They don't prove a retaliation campaign. They literally prove Justin reacting to everything. Nothing, he didn't actually have a leg up at any point. Nothing was planned. He was literally reacting to things that were coming out from your end, from the way people were perceiving things. So if this was supposed to prove SH, it didn't do that. If this was supposed to prove a smear campaign, it didn't do that. So why her team felt we needed to see this and it needed to be unsealed so badly, I don't know, but my hands are up. I apologize, you guys. The sun is going to have to set on this here conversation because the boy has made his way here. I see him in the corner of my eye. He's standing in the doorway, rubbing his eyes, looking at me. It's 3 a.m. He has to go to bed. I have to go put him to bed. We'll come back and cover this if more is released. But at this point, I've recorded about an hour and I'm going to have to cut a lot out for it to not be ridiculous. So I appreciate you for being here. I got a jet. Thank you for your time. Like, share, subscribe, comment, you know, everything. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye.